Respect is something that must be earned. It is not something that is just given, and for women, winning respect is not about flattering or superficial tricks. Women are drawn to strength, not brute force, but the quiet, unwavering kind that emanates from a man who knows himself and lives by principles. You've seen it happen. A man walks into a room, says nothing, but his presence alone shifts the energy. That's the respect we're talking about, believe me. It's about becoming the kind of man who commands respect effortlessly through his actions, demeanor, and character. Respect is something you embody, not something you demand. Today, we'll go deeply into psychological concepts based on Stoic wisdom that will enable you to win any woman's respect right away. High-value men live by these facts, not gimmicks. If you've ever felt ignored, disregarded, or disrespected, this is for you, but be ready. Warrior, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This isn't about cheering you up. Rather, it's about facing what needs to change before we begin. Warrior, because these truths should be heard by all men of outstanding value. Believe me, a Stoic man's measure is not in his words but in his ability to remain calm under pressure and in the face of hardship. Women naturally identify and admire a man who maintains his composure in the face of chaos because, when you exhibit this same mindset, you demonstrate to the world and the women around you that you are a man who can weather the storm without losing his way. Consider Marcus Aurelius, who faced invasions, plagues, and political betrayals during his reign as Roman emperor. Did he crumble? He approached each challenge with a calm and deliberate mind, knowing that panic serves no purpose. Women are drawn to steadiness, whether consciously or unconsciously. Evolutionarily, a composed manner denotes safety, dependability, and leadership ability. When you lose your temper or allow your emotions to control your actions, you show weakness. But when you maintain your composure during a heated argument or a high-stakes situation, you exhibit a level of control that demands respect. Consider this. How can anyone trust a man who is dependent on his own emotions? Imagine this situation today. Epicus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Remaining composed under pressure is the ultimate evidence of mastery over oneself. Women, in particular, respect those who provide stability in an unstable world. Imagine standing on a crumbling bridge during an earthquake. Who would you look to for leadership? The man running in circles, screaming about the collapse, or the one standing firm, analyzing the situation with composure? Many men fail this test by reacting with anger or frustration, revealing their lack of control. However, you, the Stoic man, see such moments for what they are, opportunities to demonstrate your inner strength. You remain calm, measured, and unshaken, showing her that no amount of external pressure can disturb your inner peace. Clarity. Women desire that pillar of strength not only in the big life crises but also in the little moments of daily life. The calm man exudes power, but this power is quiet and steady like the ocean's depths. It's not loud or boastful. When she challenges you, stay calm. When life throws you curveballs, when everyone else is losing their head, stay calm. This straightforward principle is how you gain instant respect from women and from everyone who witnesses your unwavering resolve and confidence. The language of kings, warriors, and men is confidence, who are respected without making any appeals. Speaking with conviction is, I promise you, the fastest way to win a woman's respect. However, let's be clear that this isn't about being cocky or overcompensated. Genuine confidence stems from self-belief and an unwavering sense of your value. Take Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, for example. He spoke with such clarity and assurance that his philosophy influenced generations. When you speak with confidence, you follow in the footsteps of great men who knew that their words carried weight because their actions gave them meaning. Psychologically, women are wired to respond to leaders who seem certain of themselves. When you speak hesitantly with doubt laced throughout your words, you unintentionally lower your perceived value. On the other hand, when your tone is steady, your words are deliberate, and your message is clear, You immediately elevate your stature in her eyes. She doesn't just hear your words, she senses your presence. This is where many men falter. They over-explain, ask for permission to be heard, or soften their words out of fear of offending. Don't make that mistake. High-worth women respect a man who stands by his words even when those words are uncomfortable. Confidence doesn't mean dominating a conversation. It means owning your voice. Imagine speaking about your passions or beliefs without flinching even when challenged. That unyielding faith in your perspective is magnetic. Consider Julius Caesar, whose mere words could rally armies and inspire loyalty. Why? Because every syllable he spoke was imbued with purpose and belief. You don't have to be a general to channel this same energy. It could be as simple as standing firm in your opinion during a debate, or clearly expressing your desires without waiting. A confident man is like a lighthouse in a storm, guiding others through the chaos with his steady light. Women are naturally attuned to nonverbal cues, and your voice, its tone, pitch, and cadence is a major part of this. A strong, calm, and confident voice signals dominance and composure. It's not about shouting or being overly aggressive, quite the opposite. The more relaxed and deliberate your speech, the more commanding you appear. Epicus once said, "First learn the meaning of what you say and then speak." Let this guide. You don't speak just to fill the silence or to impress. Speak because you have something valuable to say. When you live by this principle, your words will naturally carry weight, and when you speak to a woman, she will sense the depth of your thoughts and the confidence behind them. Keep in mind that confidence is about more than simply your voice. It's about what your voice stands for. A man who speaks with confidence is one who recognizes his value, comprehends his mission, and does not back down in front of others. Being a warrior is how you gain respect from ladies, as well as from everyone fortunate enough to hear you speak and command attention with your eyes. The old adage, "The eyes are the window to the soul," is still relevant today. Since eye contact conveys confidence, authority, and an unwavering presence, I firmly believe that it is one of the most effective psychological tools in a Stoic man's toolbox. It is not about staring aggressively or attempting to dominate. Rather, it is about projecting your strength and groundedness through the simple act of connection. Eye contact sets off a primal response in the human brain that releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, giving women an unconscious sense of trust and connection. Women naturally respect a man who can hold their gaze without flinching, a man who is not intimidated by her beauty, her words, or even her silence. A steady look conveys bravery and leadership dependability. On the other hand, a man who avoids eye contact comes across as weak and unsure of himself. This is not the impression you want to give her. You want her to sense your presence without you saying a word. Consider Marcus Aurelius, who didn't turn away from his soldiers when he spoke to them prior to combat. The same idea holds true in your dealings with women. His eyes met theirs with unflinching resolution, reminding them that their commander was in control, even in the face of death. Your ability to maintain eye contact will influence how much respect she gives you. Whether you're talking about something serious or something lighthearted, but there's an art to it. A warrior who maintains intense eye contact doesn't have to stare at her nonstop as though she's being challenged. It's about balance. To avoid coming across as aggressive or predatory, maintain eye contact with her for a sufficient amount of time to make your presence felt, then sometimes break it. The secret is to be calm. Your eyes should simultaneously exude strength, kindness, and curiosity. The founder of Stoicism, Zeno of Citium, emphasized that mastery of the mind is the first step toward mastery of the self, and there is no better way to exhibit this mastery than by looking. Because he has nothing to conceal, a man who can maintain eye contact is in control of not only his body, but also his emotions and thoughts. This transparency is captivating. Keep in mind that how you look at a woman matters. If your gaze is erratic, you come across as uncertain and unanchored, and if it is steady, you easily command respect. The cornerstone of all significant music relationships is warrior. 4. The foundation of being a high-value man is self-respect. Women can tell it right away from the way you carry yourself. the way you speak, and the choices you make. If you don't respect yourself, why should anyone else let a woman believe me? Without it, you become vulnerable to manipulation, humiliation, and even self-doubt. Setting limits is only one aspect of respecting yourself. Another is living according to your values at all costs. At one point, Aristotle wrote to self-worth is the first step toward wisdom. Consider this. When you value yourself, you communicate to women and the rest of the world that you are not a man who will put up with disrespect or mediocrity. This isn't arrogance. Rather, it's the quiet assurance that comes from recognizing your value. Women are attracted to men by nature. Women pick up on this sooner than you think they might, and they may test you by making irrational demands, challenging your beliefs, or even canceling plans at the last minute if you compromise your values or bend to please others. People treat you the way you allow them to because self-respect is a sign of strength and integrity. A man who lacks self-respect will give in to pressure from others, but a Stoic man remains steady because he values himself too highly to be influenced by them. Consider Epicurus, who taught that the capacity to live according to your principles is what it means to be free. A man who values himself is genuinely free since he is not bound by the thoughts or approval of others. It is this freedom that attracts women to you. You're not attempting to win her or anybody else over. Simply put, when you respect yourself first, you don't need to seek respect from others. This genuineness is uncommon and irresistible. People, including women, understand that you won't settle for anything less, and that being a warrior is the hallmark of a high-value man. Therefore, it comes naturally. 5. Establish and uphold personal limits. A Stoic man is a fortress, and his boundaries are the walls that guard his inner sanctuary. Without boundaries, you let people, including women, invade your space, undermine your morals, and disturb your tranquility. Believe me, establishing boundaries is about valuing yourself and expecting the same respect from others, not about being impolite or defensive. Any woman will instantly respect a man who is aware of his boundaries and what he will not put up with. Women push the envelope. They do it naturally, not maliciously. But to find out what kind of man you are, will you fold? Will you compromise your morals under pressure to get her acceptance? Or will you remain steadfast in your beliefs? This is a chance to show your strength and have faith in me, not a challenge to be afraid of. When you establish borders, women observe that even though they may not express it, they greatly value it. For instance, Marcus Aurelius had an unwavering sense of self and refused to let others dictate his behavior or compromise his integrity, even though he was an emperor, surrounded by advisors and flatterers. When you set limits, you use the same Stoic resolve to demonstrate that your ideals and time are not negotiable. Establishing boundaries psychologically fosters stability. Men who behave and speak consistently are respected by women. You demonstrate your dependability and strength if you state you won't tolerate a behavior and then enforce that boundary. Conversely, if you let your boundaries be breached, you come out as weak and unsure. A man who is unable of self-control. This is a harsh reality. Men who lack boundaries are easily swayed. They go above and beyond to please others, claiming to be understanding or accommodating, but in actuality, they lose respect because they don't respect themselves first. Women are drawn to these men. To men who remain firm. Because they are grounded, not because they are controlling the biggest challenge, according to Zeno of Citium, the originator of Stoicism, is to stay true to who we are despite outside influences. Warrior, ask yourself where your boundaries are. Are they clearly defined, or are they so ambiguous that others can step over them without repercussions? Boundaries are your shield against those pressures because they enable you to maintain your dignity and composure no matter who you're dealing with, whether it's a casual relationship or a lifetime partnership. Setting limits is a declaration of your self-worth and not just a show of strength. Women and other people will respect you when you value yourself. 6th as well. To put it plainly, emotional outbursts are a man's quickest path to failure because they make you predictable, weak, and easily manipulated. Mastering emotional discipline to control your emotions is to dominate life itself. It's the foundation of a high-value man and without it, you're a slave to your impulses. Women may not express it, but they admire men who maintain their composure in the face of catastrophe. Raines considers Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of the greatest Stoics in history, who endured betrayal, battle, and personal loss. Consider what it would be like to repeatedly hold your dying child in your arms, knowing that there was nothing you could do. Many of us would crumble under such heartbreak, but Marcus didn't wallow in self-pity or lash out at the world. Instead, he used his grief fuel to strengthen his resolve. Now, compare that to the modern man who throws tantrums. This man didn't just deal with personal loss. He buried 8 of his 13 children. When his partner leaves him when things doesn't go his way, he loses hope, is rejected, and his ego is crushed. This isn't strong. It has a high value of weakness. Man tightens his grip and continues to go forward, refusing to let outside events control his inner state or shout out to the world about his troubles. Women put you through emotional tests to see how resilient you are. If you can't endure a scathing remark, a quiet treatment, or a moment of rejection, how can you handle life's more difficult obstacles? Emotional control is about mastering your feelings, not suppressing them. Make advantage of your feelings as a strength rather than a weakness. Rage. Transform the anguish into wisdom and resolve. You don't have the luxury of falling apart like Marcus Aurelius did, even though he managed to lose almost everything and still rule an empire with dignity. What's your justification? You will be pounded hard by life, but you must maintain your emotional fortitude at that time. The next time life throws you a curveball, remember Marcus, standing over another grave with the weight of an empire on his shoulders and refusing to falter. Channel that strength and be unshakable, because in the end the world doesn't care about your pain. It cares about your resilience. Mastery isn't optional. It's your duty as a man. When you control your emotions, you control the narrative. You're no longer a victim of circumstance. You're the architect of your destiny. You will be in charge of your life if you can manage your emotions. Anything less is unacceptable. Warrior respect is something you command rather than something you beg for. As a Stoic high-value man, you set the example for others to follow and don't require approval. The world is watching, and so are the women in your life. They respect a man who respects himself first, who masters silence, who sets boundaries, and who exudes confidence without saying a word. However, this isn't just about them. It's about you, warrior. The challenge is yours. Walk the path of Stoicism, live the wisdom you've heard today, and embody the respect you seek. Leave a comment below with the words, "Challenge accepted," and let the world know you're prepared to rise. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell, because your journey as a high-value man has only just begun. The world respects a man who dares to respect himself first.